Join me as I take on the challenge of transforming boring corporate events into unforgettable experiences. I'm going to show you how to unlock the secrets of creating truly engaging corporate events using the Xchange approach. Hey there, my name is Josh Friberg, and I am a transformational MC for corporate events, as well as a certified Xchange approach guide. And what we do is create deep human connection at speed and scale. In this video, I'm going to walk you through three secrets to creating a really engaging corporate event. And these are something that you can use at your next event, whether it's a smaller retreat, just maybe 10 or 15 people, a team doing some sort of workshop, all the way up to 1,000-person event. The reality is, though, when you think of a typical conference, let's say it's going to be 500 people and it's going to be 2.5-day experience, you're going to be spending about $1,000 or more per person. That's easily just become a $500,000 event. And yet what I find so often is the way those end up getting designed really is with the agenda as like the last thought, right? They start with the venue, they think about the food, but then eventually get around to thinking about the agenda. And at some point, somebody just opens up a spreadsheet, starts putting times on a page. Oh, we're going to be there Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We start at 9, we go till 5. What can we fit and stuff into the agenda? As a result of that, what ends up happening is that we go to efficiency. We go to whatever's easiest, whatever's simplest. And what's simplest when it comes to designing something like that is honestly to just go speaker, speaker, break, speaker, speaker, lunch, speaker, speaker, happy hour. And from an audience perspective, it is dreadful. It's just awful. In fact, I got on Reddit and was just typing in some stuff, asking about conferences, looking for what questions pop up about conferences. And people said, what do you take to read during the lectures at a conference? People said, hey, do you take naps during the lectures at a conference? Lecturing is like the lowest form of learning available. And honestly, what our conferences have ended up becoming is the same as if we all just chose to watch a YouTube video at the same time, right? We lose the whole purpose of coming together and allowing the genius of what can come up in a group, of what can come up in a community to maximize the event. Now, I totally get it. I know where this all came from. See, let's go back 2, 3, 4 decades or 10 decades, right? And think through what our world looked like. There were a few experts who had all the answers, right? Knowledge did not easily flow the way that it does now. And so because of that, if you had a group of people, right, say you were going to get an industry together, right? You were going to get all the firefighters together. Well, the world's foremost expert in fire science was just one person at one, university somewhere. So it made sense to bring everybody together to one place and then fly the expert in and have them share their genius, right? But here's the deal. Every single one of us has 98% of human knowledge right here. Easily accessible, the greatest experts available. So how can we make our events more engaging is move away from this idea of just having an expert lecturer tell us what they know. And instead, I'm going to give you 3 things that you can do at your next event, whether it's a big conference or even if it's just your weekly meeting, to make that boring event become a way more engaging experience. The first thing to think about is use your agenda to curate conversations. Use your agenda to curate conversations. Well, what do I mean by that? the place that I always start when I'm thinking through an agenda, and we'll block in when does it start, when does it end, where are the meals. That's just sort of your fixed mile markers. That's just sort of the walls in the room, right? But now, what furniture are we going to put in the room? And the first question I ask is, what conversations do we want to have? What conversations do we want to have? And what we're going to do is we're going to design conversations, question formats, and groupings of people and ways of interacting that are going to allow the genius of the room to show up. Well, why is this important? It's important, first of all, because it actually creates human connection. All right. Second is that it allows for customization for each person in the room. You see, if you fly in a big fancy speaker, right, from overseas, and they come in and they start talking to your group, well, it might be a good fit for some of your people. It's hard to say. But when I can ask a question and say, hey, this is the actual challenge I'm dealing with right now and I need help, or I came to this conference to learn about this and I need to find that information, guess what? A group, 3 or 4 or 5 people around me might be able to start pointing me in the right direction to finding what I'm looking for. It means that every single person can have an agenda that's custom for them, because when we move people into conversations, rather than just having them passively listen, they have more influence on the type of information that's exchanged, right? And so a great question to ask in this space is, what percentage of our agenda is dedicated to peer-to-peer learning? What percentage of our agenda is dedicated to peer-to-peer learning? Not stage to audience learning, but peer-to-peer learning, where people are working with other people some that they know, some that they don't know, but that they're actually giving and receiving to and from one another. So the first thing is, use your agenda to curate conversations. The second secret that you can use to unlock real engagement in your corporate events is use internal experts. Use internal experts. Now, not only is this great because your organization already has amazing, brilliant people with super relevant information, right? But here's the thing. This is going to save you a ton of money. Right? I've known organizations, I've come in and emceed for organizations and helped build agendas for organizations, and they were insistent on, we have to have a big fancy speaker, but they didn't have the budget for a big fancy speaker, right? And as a result, they ended up with somebody who's interesting, who's really good. I didn't want to disparage it, but he was like a B-rate speaker, right? Well, you know what? Everybody in the room knows it. I could have watched a YouTube video and found something more interesting, right? And certainly something more directly relevant to my business. It's fascinating, the event that I'm thinking of, and I don't want to talk about anybody else, but I won't give the name away or anything, but the highest rated experiences that they had were two things well above the professional speaker that they brought in. First was a peer-to-peer experience where they were sharing between one another, right? And the second was a presentation that was presented by one of the members in the organization, right? And not even management or leadership, right? But a frontline member of the organization, and sharing their secrets, what they're really good at, their expertise. One of the highest rated events of the thing. So what's great is when you use your internal experts as your presenters, it's going to save you money and create more connection between your people. Here's the other thing that it does, is that it builds value for your people, right? The guests, the participants in the conference, are suddenly realizing, oh, wow, there's so much rich value here inside the organization. So Next week, when they're looking for solutions to their problems, they're actually going to look internally rather than looking externally. This is particularly important if you're working with like independent contractors, if you're working with people who are there voluntarily by choice. It's also, though, important for organizations where you're coming together for an event like that, and it's your employees, right? That they're not going to go out looking elsewhere, by the way, for a job, right? But they're also not going to go elsewhere looking for answers. They know the answers are found inside the community. Now, a little tip or trick on this is that, yeah, when you bring an internal expert to speak, they may not be a polished professional speaker. Don't expect them to be. But one of the benefits you can have with them is don't ask them to go for an hour. Is instead insist that they keep it to just like 20 minutes of their best stuff. Find somebody. This is one of the things I always do as the transformational MC is I coach these speakers about how to keep it simple. Don't try to be Tony Robbins. You be you, right? If you're Joe, be Joe. And share what you have to share. Keep it really short. And then what we can do is create active learning cycles based on the insight that's shared by our internal experts that folks can then plus it, can add to it, and can really glean a lot from it. So our second tip is use internal experts rather than looking outside the organization for possible insight and wisdom. Here's the third thing. Solve real problems in real time. Solve real problems in real time. See, when people come to an event, to a conference, they're looking for something. They're looking to grow. They're looking to improve. They're looking to change in some way. But a lot of times what we give them is we give them a lot of fluff. We give them a lot of motivation, whatever that is. Maybe we share some information. Maybe we share some, best practices. Often we're sharing like updates of what's going on in the industry, what's going on in the broader context of the world, all of those things. And some of those are pretty good. But the other thing is our people have real problems, right? Real things that they're working on, challenges, ways they're looking to grow, improve. So what we can do is actually set up experiences where they get to work on in real time the challenges that they have. And they can do that in community during something like a conference or a retreat. How do we do this? Well, one way that we can do this is we can identify common themes of challenges that our people are working on. Right? Maybe there's been a slowdown in the market, and so how are people finding new business in the midst of that? Right? And what are we going to do in response to it? Great. This is a problem that we're having. Hey, we used to do this kind of marketing. It's not working anymore. What do we do? Hey, I'm having trouble hiring good people. Where do I find good people? How do I attract good people to my business? These are all like challenges that our folks are working on together. What we can do is begin to build working groups that can then crowdsource solutions to those commonly held problems. So that's one way to do it. Another way to do it is that people can bring their individual challenges to the community, again, by creating these smaller working groups, 6, 7, 8 people, and doing some sort of like group coaching, right? Where one person says, hey, this is what I need help with. And the community comes around them and offers to help. We sometimes call this hot seat coaching or laser coaching or wisdom circles. Depends on what's most appealing to the group. But how can we actually give input to their real-time challenges? What's great about this is they leave with a real plan, something they can go out and do and not just have a whole bunch of homework. Oh yeah, that's a good idea. I should do that someday. No, they can actually get to work on it and have completed the first step towards their growth. This is a great way to make your event more engaging, is to solve real problems in real time. With all of these secrets, right? Using the agenda to curate conversations, utilizing internal experts and solving real problems in real time. One of the real incredible values of this is that it creates community. People actually become part of a system that's bigger than themselves. And here's what's great from the perspective of an event planner. They want to come back next year. See, if we are constantly trying to find the cool, hip speaker or the interesting presenter that's going to come in and the new entertainment that we're going to have, we are going to end up in an arms race, right? Where every year it's just got to be a little bit bigger, a little bit sexier. The fireworks have to be a little bit more explosive. The laser lights have to be a little bit more intense. The rock musicians have to rock out even more. And people are constantly going to be evaluating, well, who's the speaker this year? Who's the speaker this year? And we're in an arms race every year. But if we say, yeah, we may have a speaker, we may not. But the real value is the coming together of like-minded people in our industry, in our area that care about the same kind of things. And you're going to have deep, meaningful engagement and conversation with those folks. You're going to build relationships that are going to help you when you get back home. Well, folks are never going to want to miss it. This is vital to what they're looking for. And this is so important when we think about how do we create truly engaging corporate events. Hey, if you like this video, if you want more of this, I would love for you to take a second and subscribe to the channel and comment what has been the most engaging corporate event you've been to and what made it so engaging. If you like more of this, we've got videos come out every week. Would love to have you check those out because I believe creating this deep human connection, utilizing the exchange approach is how you can elevate your events.